Today, the angels bring a message full of light and revelations. There is someone in their life who, even without saying a word, has noticed every move they make, especially their silence. That silence, which to them may be just a pause or a breath, has been a source of restlessness and deep reflection for that person. The angels ask them to understand the impact of this, as their silence resonates in that person's heart more than any words could. That person is going through a moment of analysis and self-evaluation, something the angels describe as a slow but powerful awakening. In realizing their lack of words, they have been forced to confront emotions they had long tried to ignore. Silence sometimes speaks louder than any speech, and the angels want them to know that their presence is felt even in the distance. The angels show that this moment of reflection is essential, both for them and for that person. Their decision to keep silent was not an act of indifference, but of strength and wisdom. They knew deep down that it was necessary to give space for that person to hear their own thoughts and confront what they feel. Now, the angels ask them to maintain this strength, as something greater is being worked on in the spiritual background. That person, even though not openly showing it, is deeply touched by the impact of what they represent in their life. They miss the warmth of their words, the strength of their support, but at the same time, they realize they need to face their own fears and insecurities to approach them with authenticity. The angels show that this process is not easy, but it is absolutely necessary. You may be wondering, does they really miss me? Do they think of me? The angels respond clearly, yes. The absence of your words made them realize how essential you are in their life. They feel a void they can't explain, as if something very precious is missing. And that, dear soul, is the impact of your light, which they now start to value even more. The angels are by this person's side, guiding them to see clearly what you mean to them. Often, the rush of life causes us to overlook the most important people, but your silence opened a door for them to understand the value of your presence. They are learning that the connection you share is unique and needs to be taken care of with more attention and affection. At the same time, the angels ask you not to doubt your worth. Your silence is not a weakness, but a demonstration of self-love and spiritual wisdom. They ask you to remain strong, even if the process is painful. This period of silence is like a pause in the melody, necessary for the next note to be even more harmonious. The angels also show that this is a moment of mutual growth. For you, it is an invitation to strengthen your faith, trust in the divine plan, and understand that not everything needs to be said to be felt. For this person, it is a call to recognize the depth of their feelings for you and to prepare to express them more clearly and truthfully. Dear soul, know that the angels are by your side, holding your hand in this process. They understand your doubts and your desire to hear words of confirmation, but they ask you to trust in what cannot be seen. They work in silence, just like you, moving hearts and situations so that everything aligns at the right time. In the meantime, pay attention to the signs around you. Angels may use small coincidences, like a song playing at the right time or a word resonating in their heart, to remind them that they are on the right path. These signs are messages that they are loved, valued, and never alone, even in moments of silence. Noticing their silence, they also began to reflect on their own actions. The angels show that they are wondering what they could have done differently, what needs to change to deserve your presence back. This is a process of self-discovery that, though challenging, is necessary for them to become the person you deserve by your side. Silence may feel painful to you right now, but the angels assure that it is a catalyst for transformation. Just as winter prepares the ground for spring, this moment is creating the perfect conditions for something new and beautiful to bloom. Trust the process, as it is guided by forces much greater than you can imagine. Remember that the angels see beyond what your eyes can reach. They see the deepest feelings of this person, the internal struggles they face, and the growing desire to correct past mistakes. They are preparing their heart so that when the time is right, they can open up to you with honesty and true love. During this time, the angels ask you to take care of yourself. Use this period to strengthen yourself, to connect even more with your spirituality, and to remember your own worth. Silence is not just a break for them, but also an opportunity for you to reconnect with your essence and renew your strength. This journey may seem long, but the angels promise that it is not in vain. They ensure that the silence that now feels so heavy will turn into words of love and reconciliation at the right moment. Until then, keep their unwavering faith and know that they are being guided and protected every step of the way. True love, as the angels show, is patient and resilient. It weathers the storms and grows stronger in moments of challenge. And that's what's happening now. Their silence is creating the foundation for something much more solid and lasting. Trust in what the angels are preparing, for they never fail in their plans. At the end of this process, they will realize that all the effort was worth it. They who now reflect in silence will come back with a clarity they may never have had before. They will see in you not only love, but a light, a strength that has transformed their life for the better. The angels ask them to stay strong, not because they need their strength, but because they know how capable they are of overcoming. They know that true love is rare and worth fighting for, and they want them to know that they are on the right path. Finally, remember that silence is not the end, but rather a prelude to a new beginning. The angels whisper in their heart that everything is aligning, even if they do not yet see the results. Keep trusting, for the best is yet to come. The angels want them to know that the silence they have chosen to keep has a much greater impact than it seems. This silence is not just the absence of words, it is a space that invites reflection and the awakening of something deeper. They who may have taken their presence for granted, now feel the force of their absence as something that cannot be ignored. Without their words, without the warmth of their constant support, they find themselves forced to face an increasing void. And no, it's not just any void. It's the realization that something really important is missing. Something that cannot be replaced. They may try to fill it with distractions, but the truth is that the echo of their absence resonates strongly, reminding them of what they lost, or rather what they failed to appreciate. The angels show that in this void, opportunity arises. Not only for them, but for you as well. While they reflect on their own choices and actions, you have the chance to connect even more with who you are. The silence, for both, is not a final point, but a necessary interval for things to be seen more clearly. Yes, it's difficult to maintain faith when the heart craves immediate answers. Doubt whispers, anxiety grows, but the angels ask you to believe in what cannot be seen. They are moving pieces, working in your favor, even if you cannot yet see the results. The divine process rarely reveals itself instantly, but always brings rewards worth the wait. This person feels your absence intensely, but the angels show that it is necessary. They need to understand what truly matters. And for that, they needed this pause. It's not about punishment or coldness on your part, but about allowing them to feel, to understand, without the distractions that previously allowed them to ignore the obvious. Your connection has depth, and they are starting to realize that now. Meanwhile, the angels are by your side, whispering courage and protection. They ask you to trust in what is to come. The path may seem long, but the final destination will be sweeter than you imagine. Your patience is not in vain. It's proof of how strong you are and how worthwhile it is to fight for something true. Remember, you are not alone. Even when the silence seems deafening, angels are there, guiding and supporting you. They know the love you carry in your heart, and they want you to remember that too. Their light is strong, and it is exactly that light that will continue guiding them back to you. Stay strong. Trust the process. True love doesn't disappear, it just transforms and strengthens, even in the most challenging moments. And that's what is happening now. This person, who is now facing the silence, is going through a process of growth and self-discovery that the angels describe as essential for their evolution. It's as if they are peeling off layers of fear and insecurity to finally get to the core of what they feel for you. This process is not simple, but it is necessary for them to present themselves to you in a more authentic way. You may have noticed small signs of change in this person's behavior. Perhaps they are more thoughtful, more reserved, or even more attentive to their own actions. These are signs that the silence is having an effect, causing an internal transformation that the angels have already anticipated. It's as if they are rediscovering their own essence while trying to understand the impact you have on their life. The angels show that the silence also has an impact on you, and it's not by chance. This period is an opportunity for you to strengthen your connection with yourself and the divine. They ask you to use this time to reflect on your own needs and desires, so that when the moment of reconnection arrives, you'll be even more strengthened. There is an invisible force, a divine energy, aligning the paths of both of you. The angels show that every moment of doubt, every lonely night, is part of a greater plan. They ask you to trust in this force and believe that nothing happens by chance. Everything is being carefully orchestrated for the love between you to manifest in its purest form. That person may be facing internal conflicts, trying to balance what they feel with the fears they carry. The angels reveal that many of these fears have roots in the past, in experiences that left them insecure about love. But now, They are being guided by higher forces to confront these shadows and find the necessary courage to follow their heart. The angels ask you to keep your heart open and receptive, even when doubt tries to invade your mind. They assure you that your light, even in silence, is a compass guiding that person back to the path of truth. Your patience and compassion are crucial in this process, as they create a safe space for them to open up when they are ready. You may feel like you are carrying a burden alone, but the angels want you to know that you are not. They are by your side, protecting you and guiding your steps. They see your strength and determination and want you to remember that the silence is temporary, but its impact will be enduring. As that person reflects on the silence, the angels show that they are beginning to understand the value of small things. They realize how a gesture, a word, or even your presence can bring so much joy and comfort. It's as if they are learning to appreciate what once seemed taken for granted. The angels say that this change of perspective is crucial for them to be able to see you in a clearer and truer way. They are shedding illusions and fears, and this makes them more receptive to the love you share. It is a slow but powerful process, and the angels assure that the outcome will be worth the wait. During this time, the angels ask you to keep nurturing your own light. Do things that feed your soul, that bring joy and strengthen your faith. Remember that you don't need to wait for them to come back to be happy. Your happiness is a light that illuminates both of your paths. The angels reveal that soon you will start to notice signs that this transformation is taking place. It could be an unexpected message, a gesture of affection, or even a change in how they talk to you. These signs are evidence that the spiritual work is having an effect. They also ask you to prepare for the moment of reconnection. When this moment arrives, it will be more than just a reunion. It will be a renewal of the bond between you. It will come with a new understanding, a new clarity about what they feel for you and what you can build together. Trust in what the angels are doing. They assure that every moment of silence is contributing to something greater. They are working on both of your hearts, removing barriers and creating the necessary space for love to flourish. Finally, the angels ask you to continue being true to yourself. Your authenticity is what attracted this person to you in the first place, and it is what will continue to guide your path. Don't be afraid to shine, even in silence, because your light is the key to everything that is to come. The angels are sending clear signals that the silence you have chosen to maintain is acting as a catalyst in their life. It may seem like everything is at a standstill, but in reality, something much bigger is in motion. For them, this silence carries the weight of a revelation. Each day without your words echoes as a reminder of what you represent, something they perhaps did not appreciate as they should have before. They feel more than just the absence of your conversations. They miss your emotional presence, that energy that filled the spaces between you. The angels show that this realization is growing inside them, as if each moment apart is a chance for them to confront what they have always avoided, the depth of what you share. This silence for them functions as a mirror reflecting everything they have tried to hide, even from themselves. There are no more distractions to cover up what has always been there. They are being forced to see their own insecurities, the decisions they have made, and the real impact of those choices. It is an inevitable and necessary process, and the angels are guiding everything so that they find clarity. And you, in the meantime, may be wondering if all this effort is worth it. The angels want you to know that it is. The transformation they are going through is painful but absolutely essential. Without it, they would not be able to reach the level of emotional understanding that you both need to build something real. They need this pause, just like you do, so that the foundation of what you have can be strengthened. The angels also show that they are beginning to recognize how essential you are in their life. It is not just about love or attraction. It is something deeper, a connection that they realize cannot be replicated or replaced. This recognition, though belated, is genuine. They are realizing how different you are from anyone else who has ever entered their life. And yet, they struggle against it. Not because they don't feel, but because they feel too much. The fear, the doubt, the insecurities, all of this creates barriers within them. But the angels are working to undo these barriers, so that they can see clearly the path that leads to you. They are dispersing the clouds that were obscuring their vision and guiding them towards a truth that they can no longer deny. This is the moment when you need to trust, even without seeing immediate results. The angels ask for patience, not because they want you to wait for something uncertain, but because they know that what is being prepared is greater than you imagine. Every silence, every day of absence, is shaping a new path for both. While they face these internal changes, the angels are also working on you. This time is not just about them, it's also about your growth, your strength, and your light. They want you to see this period as an opportunity to connect with yourself, to remember your worth and how capable you are of loving and being loved. The angels want you to know that this process is necessary for them to come back to you, but not in the same way they left. They need to return as someone who understands the depth of what they feel, who is willing to build something true, and who finally recognizes what you have always been to them. And when that moment comes, it will be different. They will come with a clarity they may have never had before. They will understand what you share, and more importantly, will be willing to fight for it. The angels show that this will not just be a reunion, but the beginning of something completely new, stronger, truer. Now they ask you to stay strong. The silence is not emptiness, it is preparation. It is a time for both to align with what truly matters. Trust in the process, because what is to come will be more beautiful and meaningful than anything you can imagine. The angels show that, in the meantime, they are also being transformed. This silence has the purpose of strengthening them, of helping them find within themselves the security that they may have sought externally. They ask that they trust this process, as it is shaping them for a future filled with love and fulfillment. Each passing day, this person feels the urgency to reconnect with you. The angels show that they are facing internal battles, but these struggles are preparing them to take a more conscious and true action. They know that they can no longer postpone what they feel, as the silence has become unbearable for them. You may be wondering if you should take some initiative to shorten this waiting time. However, the angels ask that you stay strong. They assure that the right moment is being carefully prepared and that any hasty action could interrupt the work being done behind the spiritual scenes. This period of silence is also an opportunity for you to evaluate your own expectations and desires. The angels ask you to question yourself. What do you really expect from this connection? They want you to be aligned with your own needs so that when the moment of reconnection comes, you can welcome it fully and consciously. The angels reveal that, despite the difficulties, this person carries a true love for you in their heart. They may not have shown it in the way you expected, but the angels ensure that this love is genuine. They feel a connection with you that transcends words, something they are still learning to express. While they reflect on the silence, the angels show that they are being guided to make important decisions. These decisions are not easy, as they involve leaving behind fears and patterns that kept them stuck. But the angels assure that they are being prepared for a new beginning by your side. You are likely to notice subtle changes in their behavior. Maybe they will start showing more interest in understanding your feelings or seeking ways to get closer again. These are signs that spiritual work is taking effect and that they are beginning to open up to the possibility of a future together. The angels ask you to keep the faith, even when the results seem distant. They assure that true love always finds a way to prevail, and that the bond between the two of you is strong enough to overcome any obstacle. They want you to know that you are on the right path. This period of silence is also a reminder of how important you are. The angels show that your presence in their life is like a light that illuminates the way in moments of darkness. They may not have recognized this in the past, but now they are starting to see how much you mean. The angels reveal that as they approach a decision, you will begin to feel a different energy around you. This energy is a sign that something is changing, that the silence is giving way to a new phase of connection. Be attentive to these signs, as they indicate that the moment of reconnection is near. They also ask you to continue cultivating patience and compassion, both for them and for yourself. This process is not easy, but it is necessary so that you can build something solid and lasting. The angels assure that every challenge faced now will bring rewards in the future. The angels want you to know that, even in silence, you are deeply loved and valued. They ask you to remember your worth and to never doubt the strength you possess. You are a light in that person's life and also in your own spiritual journey. At the end of this period, the angels show that they will come to you with a clarity they have never had before. They will be ready to share their feelings honestly and to build something new and meaningful by your side. This will be a moment of great joy and fulfillment for both. For now, the angels ask you to keep confident. They are by your side, guiding every step and protecting you at every moment. They ensure that everything is moving in the right direction and that the best is yet to come. The angels reveal that something within them has changed, even if you still do not see it clearly. The silence that initially seemed like protection, an escape from intense feelings, now weighs. It's as if they can no longer ignore the truth that screams within them. And that truth is you. They realize, even if in a confused way, that their feelings will not just disappear because they tried to suppress them. Every day, something reminds them of you. No matter how much they try to distract themselves or carry on with their routine, small things, a song, a place, a thought that comes out of nowhere, bring them back to everything you shared. These moments are not random. The angels show that they are signs, small reminders that the connection between you is not something ordinary, something that can be ignored or forgotten. But that doesn't mean they know what to do. This is a moment of internal struggle for them. They are being challenged to confront fears they may not even have known they had. Fear of losing control, fear of being vulnerable, fear of repeating past mistakes. These are barriers they themselves built, and now they need to break them down to make room for what they feel for you. This process is not easy. Leaving behind old patterns, beliefs that have limited them for so long, is painful. But the angels are by their side, helping them see that these barriers do not protect them, they only keep them away from what they truly desire. And as they struggle with these changes, you are also an essential part of this process. The angels ask you to trust, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Their transformation is slow, but deep. They can no longer pretend that what they feel for you is not real, but they also cannot change overnight. This is work that requires patience, from both them and you. At the same time, the angels ask you to look at yourself. This moment is not just about them, it's about you too. The silence, although painful, is an opportunity for you to reconnect with yourself, to remember how strong, valuable, and deserving of love you are. The angels show that your light is what continues to guide them back to you, even in moments when they seem distant. The angels also indicate that they are beginning to understand that they can no longer live in the middle of the road, hesitating between fear and desire. They need to decide, and they are approaching that point. Each day that passes brings them closer to a choice, and the angels show that this choice will be for you. They ask you to be ready for this moment. Not because it will come with all the answers, but because they will be vulnerable, more open than ever. It will be the beginning of something new, but it will also require patience and understanding from both of you. They will still be adjusting to this new way of seeing things, but they will be willing to try. You may be wondering if this silence was necessary, if all this couldn't have happened differently. The angels want you to know that yes, it was necessary. Sometimes, silence is the only way to truly hear what the heart is trying to say. Without it, this transformation they are going through would not be possible. Trust the process. The angels are by their side, guiding every step. They ask you to keep the faith, even when the path seems uncertain. They know how much they have endured, how much they have waited, and assure that all of this will not be in vain. When they finally make the decision, it will not only be a gesture of return, but a demonstration of growth, courage, and true love. They will come to you because they chose you, not because they felt pressured or for any other reason. And that will make all the difference. The angels want you to prepare for what is to come. Not just for the reunion, but for the opportunity to start something new. Something that will be stronger, more honest, and more aligned with what both of you truly desire. They ask you to keep shining, because your light is what keeps all of this in motion. The angels ask you to remain strong and confident during this period. They understand that the wait can be challenging, but assure that every moment of patience will be rewarded. What is being prepared in the spiritual background is much greater than you can imagine, something that will bring deep joy and fulfillment to both of you. As this person faces their internal battles, the angels ask you to continue focusing on yourself. They want you to know that your happiness and well-being are essential not only for you, but also for the future of this connection. Cultivating your own light now will create a solid foundation for the love that is to come. The angels show that they are beginning to see the positive impact you have had on their life. They recognize that you have brought clarity, strength, and love in moments when they needed it most, even if they have not clearly expressed that in the past. Now, they are learning to cherish these moments in a completely new way. This period of silence has also allowed them to reflect on what they truly desire. The angels show that they are wondering what life would be like without you, and with each thought, they realize they do not want to give up on this connection. This clarity is leading them to make bolder decisions aligned with their true feelings. You may start noticing subtle changes in the energy between you. Perhaps they are more attentive, more present, or even subtly seeking ways to reconnect. These are signs that they are approaching a moment of revelation, where they may express all they feel for you. The angels assure that when this moment comes, it will be transformative. They will come to you with a newfound maturity, ready to build a relationship based on truth, respect, and mutual love. They ask that you be prepared to receive this moment with an open and hopeful heart. Meanwhile, the angels continue to work on aligning your paths. They are dissolving fears, removing obstacles, and creating the perfect conditions for this love to blossom. They ask that you trust the process and believe that everything is unfolding in its right time. The angels also want you to know that your strength and patience do not go unnoticed. They are proud of how you have dealt with this situation and want you to remember that you are an enlightened soul, capable of overcoming any challenge. Your light is an inspiration not only to them but to everyone around you. This silence is not an end, but a prelude to a new beginning. The angels show that they are learning to communicate more clearly and honestly, which will be crucial for the future of both of you. They are preparing to share their feelings in a way they may have never done before. The angels ask you to keep nurturing your faith. They know that the waiting can be challenging, but assure you it's worth it. They are by your side, guiding every step and ensuring you are never alone on this journey. When the moment of reconnection finally arrives, it will be more than just a reunion. It will be a turning point, an opportunity for both of you to start a new phase, full of love, understanding, and mutual growth. The angels ensure that this moment will be one of the greatest blessings of your life. Until then, the angels ask you to focus on taking care of yourself. Do things that bring joy, nourish your soul, and strengthen your connection with the divine. Your happiness is a gift not only to yourself but also to them, as your light will continue to guide them back to you. Remember that the angels are always by your side, whispering words of encouragement and love. They want you to know that everything is moving in the right direction, even if you can't see the results yet. Trust in them, as they never fail. The angels show that at the end of this process, you will be stronger, more connected to yourself and to the divine. This transformation will be a gift not only to yourself but also to the relationship that is to come. They ask you to keep walking in faith, as the best is yet to come. The angels show that we are approaching the long-awaited moment. The silence, which once seemed like a barrier, now reveals itself as the foundation for a complete transformation. They who have gone through so many internal battles are finally ready to take a step in their direction. They realize that the absence of their words was not indifference, but an invitation to growth, reflection, and awakening. This awakening was not easy. They faced their own fears, questioned their choices, and discovered truths they were not willing to face before. The angels show that they now understand how important you are in their life. They know that their connection is unique and deserves to be treated with care and respect. The angels ask you to prepare for a moment of reconnection that will be marked by sincerity and emotion. They will come to you with a more open heart, willing to share feelings they used to hide. This will be a moment of healing, not only for them but also for you, as all doubts and uncertainties will begin to dissipate. When they finally speak, their words will reflect everything they have learned during this period of silence. They will acknowledge your patience, your strength, and the light you have brought into their life. The angels assure that this moment will be a milestone, a turning point that will open the doors to a future full of love and understanding. You will also feel a profound change within yourself. This period was not only a test for your relationship, but also a journey of self-discovery. The angels show that you are now more connected to your own essence, more sure of who you are and what you deserve. This will create a solid foundation for the love that is to come. The angels ask that, at this moment of reunion, you be open to dialogue, but also confident in their value. They want you to remember that this transformation was mutual. Just as they grew and changed, you also strengthened. Together, you have the opportunity to build something deeper and truer. This is the time to leave the past behind. The angels show that the wounds that once seemed insurmountable are being healed. The love you share has the power to turn pain into strength, mistakes into lessons, and challenges into opportunities to grow together. The angels also ask you to pay attention to the signs around you. They may send messages through dreams, music, or even unexpected encounters. These signs are reminders that the universe is working in your favor, guiding each step on this journey. This reconnection will not just be a reunion, but a renewal. The angels show that what is to come is a new phase, full of possibilities. You will have the chance to create a relationship based on truth, respect, and unconditional love. They ask you to trust in this process and allow love to blossom naturally. Meanwhile, the angels continue by your side, whispering words of encouragement and protection. They assure you that you are never alone and that every challenge faced so far has been a preparation for what is to come. They want you to know that everything is aligning perfectly. This final moment is also an invitation to celebrate. Celebrate the path you have walked, the strength you have found within yourself, and the love that continues to shine in your heart. The angels show that you are a special soul, a light that illuminates the path of everyone around you. Remember that this reunion will be just the beginning of a new journey. The angels ask you to keep walking with faith, with an open heart, and with the certainty that you are exactly where you should be. What is to come will be even more beautiful than you imagined. In the end, the angels want you to know that true love is never lost. It may be tested, challenged, and even delayed, but it will always find a way to prevail. And that is what is happening now. The love between them is strengthening, transforming into something that will be eternal. Finally, they ask you to share your gratitude, whether through a prayer, a meditation, or simply a thought of love. Gratitude will open even more doors to the blessings that are to come. Trust, dear soul, because the best is still just beginning. The angels conclude this message with a promise. You are loved, protected, and guided. Keep shining, keep believing, and know that true love will always find its way back to you.